on me. My affirmation.
Hey, what it do? What's up? Your girl G here. Welcome back to my channel. Appreciate you for tuning in. Now, look, I know this review is coming a little bit late. All right. We are talking about Real Housewives of Miami. Okay, Real Housewives of Miami is giving and Julia. Okay, it's not looking real good for you. That's all I can say. For the millennials that know what I'm about to say, Julia, you really making a fool of yourself. All right, you making a fool of yourself. All right, because the way you have switched up on Guerdy, a girl that you have literally been like friends with on this show, and like we've known y'all to be a part of the clique with Adriana. Like the minute I saw Juliana hanging out with Alexia, and I saw the preview for this season and Guerdy and Julia going at it, that's on my first review for like the first episode. I was like, this is clearly gonna be Julia's villain era. But the problem is Julia ain't really like that. She ain't really a villain for real, and she's playing one. And then not only that, you're playing one badly because you're taking being a villain to the extreme. Girl, you throwing water on somebody, and that's why you looking real stupid and crying because you embarrassed because you know you took it too far. Okay? Oh, sorry, y'all. My mouth is like so like full, like, you know, when you eat something tangy or whatever, like your mouth just gets like saliva. I've been eating these Haribo Gold Bears, but y'all, now they got sour tropical. Okay, so I saw these in the store because I like Haribo, but you know, I usually don't just eat them, but I saw that they had sour ones and they tropical, so I was like, let me try that. A little something, a little yang. Because every now and again, like after I smoke or something, like, you know, you get the munchies, and I always go in between of like wanting like candy, sour candy, or like something crunchy. Okay, but last night I wanted sour candy. But yeah, you guys, let's go ahead and get into Housewives of Miami. If you haven't noticed, probably since the last time you see me as well, your girl has got her hair done. I have new twists. I now have like, they're like kinky twists. And it's in a bob, okay, because y'all, it's hot as hell out here. Literally in Texas, it's 95 degrees by lunch 30. It's too hot, okay? So I had to take the long twist out and give you some short ones, especially the fact I'm finna go to New York literally at the end of this week. That's all. Another reason why this review's coming late. I'm like trying to prepare for leaving to New York at the end of the week. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. If you're new to your girl's channel, hey, how you doing? Make sure you hit that like button, okay? Do your girl a favor and hit that like button. It ain't gonna kill you to do it, okay? It's free 99, all right? So we open up the episode with, like I said, Julia out here making a fool of herself, and she's over there singing opera and whatnot, and you know, the coach is telling her like, oh, you know, use your emotion, what's been going on with you, da-da-da-da. And Julia tells this story that is so off base. This girl sitting there talking about, I've been going through so much, you know, dealing with, what she said, dealing with untrustworthy friends. And, you know, it just turned into a whole mess. So much so that, you know, water ended up everywhere and on me. And I just don't know how we got there. And I'm glad the producers did a flashback and you sitting there talking to this dude as if you don't know how the water got on you, bitch. Like, come on, Julia. Like, the way she was explaining it, girl, oh, the water ended up everywhere, and it's just like, I don't know how we got here. Really? Really? Like, really? And she's tearing up and everything, and it's just kind of like, you got nobody else to be mad at but yourself. Like, you really don't. And so now this whole episode, I'm guessing really this whole season until we see Julia and Guerdy talk, she's really just she's like distorting the whole story, and Guerdy's not here for it. And I'm so glad Guerdy is not bowing down and is holding strong to the story, because Julia is giving you lying. That just true tea. So yeah, so after she's singing and, you know, being all emotional about the lies she's telling to the old coach, there is a segment where her and Marta go to like the store or whatever, because Adriana wants to plan a baby shower for them. She's like, I want to plan a baby shower. And Julia tells Adriana that she's okay with inviting Guerdy to the baby shower. And she lets Marta know that. And Marta's like, are you sure? She was like, yeah, I feel like I'm not, even though she wants to call me low class and not classy, I'm not going to stoop down to her level. So, I'm not going to be petty. I'm going to invite her. And then her confessional was like, I don't mind inviting somebody if I feel like they can show up and still act accordingly or something like that. And it's like, so that means you really don't buy the shit you're selling, because for all these emotions that you keep giving everybody of how bad Guerdy's doing you, so much so you're telling Marta, oh, it feels like she's waged war on our family. Not you. Now, oh, she's waging war. Y'all, waging war on her family. Like, what? Julia is giving the ultimate white woman scheme, okay? And I'm glad that Guerdy's going right along with her and doing it. She said, but you want to play? Oh, I've been hurt, girl. Guess what? Me too. So, Guerdy, she's decorating her house. Y'all know she's like an event decorator, event planner, or whatever. And, that's kind of been like her safe space, and so the son comes in, he sees everything. She's sitting down talking to Russell, and Russell, I know what he did. Russell, you know what? I appreciate what he did in this moment, because obviously being married to a black woman, what the stigma, the stereotypes, what type of buzzwords are going to be used. And he made sure to paint the picture. I didn't like the fact that this big, tall woman was standing over you. This big woman standing over you in your space, and you're trying to heal from cancer. And Guerdy's just like, yeah, and just like, I just really just felt like some type of way that people just sat there and watched her do it. Now, a few of the girls did, speak up and was like, Julia, that wasn't cool, but Guerdy's like, I just don't get it. Like, it literally feels like she was trying to, like, basically embarrass me for their entertainment. So now Guerdy's over there crying. It's just, I just can't believe she did that. Like, she was just so aggressive with me. And it's just, I don't know what it did. And then in her confessional, she crying too. I'm going through so much already. And Julia was to sit here and lie on me, and knowing that I showed up for her. And this is how she's doing me. You threw water on me. Oh my gosh, it's just, it's too much. It's just too much, Russell. I was like, there you go, Guerdy. Go ahead. Get the rich black white woman tears, okay? Get to crying. Get to doing all of that shit, okay? Make sure you act just like Julia on steroids, because what she is not finna do is flip the script. No. Not on my watch, in the famous words of Iyanla.
Not on my watch.
Guerdy said, not on my watch. So, after that, what else happened? What else happened after that? So, we actually get introduced to the new housewife. Her name is Stephanie. Stephanie is giving real rich, bitch, okay? When they took Dr. Nicole off, she was really kind of like the legit, flashy, rich, upper echelon of the, Real Housewives of Miami. Alexia was giving money on the show at one point until, it was given, we all found out it was all a lie. Like, she ain't really living like that. I mean, a lot of these women are, but some are better at faking it than others. But now we know that Todd and his mess, he over there broke as a joke, and they got shit in different types of people's names and ain't in their name. And Alexa blew the whole lid off last episode when she was talking with the friends, talking about, it's not in my name, it's not his name, like, we don't really own these things. And it's like, oh, okay, now it's coming out, okay. But nonetheless, what was I talking about? Stephanie, with Nicole leaving, she coming on, got her own private jet. you know, she's with a man. Basically, I immediately thought of, oh, this is another Mauricio, because he owns one of the third largest real estate brokerage or whatever, real estate investing group or whatever. So they fly around the world. They got money. Okay, you know how I say it's different between being rich and getting money. Okay, bitch, they got money. All right. And so Larsa, she's on the plane, and you know how much money she got? So much so she's taking a private plane to go pick up her goddamn dogs, y'all. I don't think y'all deep in that. Taking a private plane to go pick up your puppies. Rich bitch shit. Just really rich bitch shit. And then on the way, they sitting there eating caviar and everything. It was just... Stephanie is living the life, high on the hog. So Marysol calls Larsa while she's on the jet or whatever, and she's like, you know, I need to talk to you because they were supposed to link up with what's her face, Alexia. That they're planning to link up with Alexia like later on in the week. And Marysol's like, yeah, I want to do something for her because, you know, she's just going through it right now. Her emotions all over the place. And girl, I got some tea to drop. And they do a flashback. Alexia was telling Marysol that her and Todd decided to ask for an extension on filing for the divorce. And she's like, you know, he doesn't want to file. I don't want to file. So, like, you know, I don't know where we're, like, we just had to ask for an extension. And Marysol told Alexia, right, bitch, he's not going to file. Like, it's not going to be him. A lot of times, especially when it comes to divorce, men are not, one, filing, and two, actually wanting the divorce to go through. Point blank, period. But Alexia, here it is. You are acting comatose with a man who literally planned a whole exit on your ass and did it in front of your son. Disrespecting you and everything, and then you back with him every other night because for whatever reason. So now that Marysol knows that information, she's just like, like my poor friend won't get up off this date, just this toxic ass carousel. And so yeah, later on in the episode, they plan for just to try to get Alexia at the house, or at least that was the idea. But Alexia hit the Uno reverse on them bitches later on. We'll talk about that then. So Lisa, y'all know her dad unfortunately passed away. So Alexia, speaking of Alexia and Marysol, come over to just check on her and whatnot. And so, you know, she's like, yeah, you know, I'm just going through so much right now. And they are filling her in on the wedding since she didn't go because she was dealing with her dad's stuff or whatever. And so Marysol's like, well, yeah, you know, the party started with just, you know, Larsa feeling innocent on Milan and what happened. And Lisa was like, and what? And she was like, well, I mean, she kind of was talking about Jody, like saying like, oh my God, like his eyes, like they were just so crazy. And, you know, Jody was just going off, you know, like he was screaming so much so like you even, you know, stood up for her at one point, telling Jody not to scream at her. And Lisa's like, what? That did not happen. That didn't happen. Like, that girl is a liar and a manipulator. I think the truth is somewhere in the middle, especially with these two bitches, okay? Larsa, all she do is lie. And Lisa has a motive to lie with trying to protect Jody. Like, Larsa just lie for the hell of it, you know? So, I feel like with them kind of finding a medium ground, like at that point, Lisa, I think that night had unfollowed Marcus. And so with them kind of like, I guess not squashing the beef, but just kind of like getting over this bump in their friendship, it's kind of alluding to like, basically Jody didn't want that to happen maybe. And so Larsa, and being the sneaky bitch that she is and being real passive aggressive, she's doing the whole Jody was acting so crazy, erratic. Like, he wasn't acting like it before. Then all of a sudden, he's just going off and acting crazy. Like, what is going on? And bitch, for the people who've been keeping up with Marcus, y'all know he got locked up for that stuff, okay? He got locked up and was looking high than a Cooter Brown, giving Bobby and Whitney.
They work for me. They work.
Just tweaking on that good old cocaine and that fentanyl. You know, that fentanyl dangerous, okay? It be taking people out of here. But because Marcus obviously clearly is on that stuff. Jody, you know, is still hanging out with him. Larsa, and being the petty bitch that she is trying to definitely paint the picture of like birds of a feather flock together type shit, you know, to get back at him. But nonetheless, Lisa, you know, and speaking to Marysol and stuff like that, she's like, that's just so crazy that did not happen. Larsa's just such a liar, you know, and she's really trying to do this right now when I'm dealing with my dad. Like, what does she get? Like, my dad is gone. Like, I'm dealing with so much. And like, this is so crazy because like I'm having to hear all this stuff while I'm gone. So I had to text her a message and really put it to her what I'm dealing with. Y'all, this girl Lisa sent a whole ass picture of her daddy in the casket. In the casket. I was like, I'm like, girl, Lisa, I get it. Like, I get it. But you know, the way white women are so dramatic kill me. So Marysol wants to know how she found out about Lisa talking shit. And Lisa was kind of like, I'm not telling you. Like, I ain't no snitch. 1, and 2, what does it matter? Like, what does it matter how I found out the information? Because truth be told, you know, Larsa, if you were talking shit about Lisa, had the roles been reversed and you weren't at a table that everybody else was listening to a woman talk shit about you, you would want whoever was at that table to come back and tell you. So like, I think the fact that they're like so concerned about how, like, why she knows is like pointless, which is what was brought up at the baby shower. Like, why does it matter type shit. But Lisa sending that picture of the daddy in the casket. Whoa, okay, that's a lot. Okay, I would have to delete that picture. I can't have no old man dead in my phone. That's crazy. So what else happens? Adriana's playing in the baby shower. Oh, okay, so I think this is when Stephanie finally meets the other ladies. They all go out. Stephanie's style is so, it's like 1970s rich. She has real mod style, real like twiggy, that real preppy, like old school mod style with the glasses, real retro peplum skirts, real like what's Hillary from Fresh Prince, like a good Woo. Sorry, y'all. You know, sometimes some randomly catch you in the throat. Woo. Woo. Sorry, y'all. Woo. Lord almost took me up out of here. So, yeah, she has a real kind of like preppy style. But nonetheless, all the ladies get together. Marysol. This is finally, you know, her meeting Julia, which she's heard so much about. And yeah, so they're sitting down, and when Stephanie puts her bag down, Larsa grabs it to kind of move it out the way. When Stephanie said, "Oh no, we're gonna put that right back here," and she was like, "I get separation anxiety from my Birkins. Like, it needs to be right here next to me, treated almost like an emotional support animal. Like, no, you can't pet my animal. No, just sit there and look at it. All right." All you do is sit there and look at it. I think Larsa just wanted to touch it because she ain't had that one. I'm sure Larsa got some Birkins, but she ain't got that one. Okay. But yeah, so Julia's there and they are calling Alexia to reach out, and Marysol is like texting or whatever, and Lisa's like, I'm telling you, that bitch is with Todd. Like, I know she's with Todd. You not finna reach her. Finally, she gets a text from Alexia talking about, I'm sick. If you know, you know. Just hitting her with the, I'm sick. And so she's like, I got a migraine. I'm exhausted. I'm just dealing with so much. I really need to take a mental health day. She in the confessionals, and the producer's like, so you weren't with Todd? I promise I wasn't with Todd. No, I wanted to be, but I promise I wasn't with him.
Yes.
Drop down the comments. Do y'all buy that Alexia wasn't with Todd? That bitch was with Todd, if you ask me. That's all she keep doing is bouncing back and forth with Todd on this unhealthy ass roller coaster. So as they're there, they're basically just discussing everything. Obviously, they feel some type of way about Alexia still hanging out with Todd. But now Stephanie is, gonna go to Julia's baby shower and be able to meet the other ladies, Did they specifically talk about anything else after that? No, I don't think so. I don't think they had them really talking about much, because they didn't talk about Lisa, from what I remember. Maybe Guerdy. I think maybe Julia told him Guerdy was coming, but that's all I can think of right now. I don't think anything that important was what they did. Yeah. So okay, what else happened this episode? Okay, Adriana, baby shower, Lisa, Guerdy, playing white woman, play chess, not checkers, bitch. She definitely doing the right thing with that. Let's see. Julia acting fake, phony as hell. We met Stephanie. And then Larsa, she definitely called that old messy punk on the phone. He was like, yeah, Jody was acting like that. And just because he's saying something, I don't make it true either. Like, anybody would lie, on behalf of somebody, So, like I said, I think the truth is somewhere in the middle with them two hoes. But, we finally get to the baby shower, and, it's cute. Adriana did a good job. It's for 2 boys. Come to find out, 2 black boys. Black boys. And the way this woman is waging war, you talking about Guerdy waging war? No, bitch, you're waging war, Julia. So you need to be honest. And she knows it looks bad. That's why she wouldn't have came to the internet with that fake phony ass apology. She knows it looks bad for you to have 2 black boys and then you throwing water on a black woman just because you don't want to admit the goddamn truth about how you basically gave her the middle finger when she came on a trip to support you. Okay? But yeah, so Guerdy actually ends up not going to the baby shower. She ends up being like in New York or something like that. So everybody shows up, it's nice. Alexia is there. Stephanie meets Alexia for the first damn time. It was like, I hope I'm not overstepping a boundary. And at first Alexia was like, no, until the other words came out of her mouth and she was like, well, with Todd. And then Alexia realized like, oh no, wait a minute, I might have spoke too fast. But at this point, Stephanie was already halfway to the point. And she was just like, when God throws out the trash for you, like, don't go digging in it. Don't go back trying to dig in the trash. And Alexia's kind of like, yeah, I know that. But, that's something I got to realize for myself. And it is one of the unfortunate things about people who are in bad relationships is no matter how much somebody from the outside could be telling them something right, dead on of what they need to do, they're not going to hear it because they don't want to, 1. And 2, it's like, in their mind, they've already made up, like, this is where I want to go. And then you can't convince somebody that they deserve more, want more, or could do it. Like, they have to believe that for themselves. And so that is really hard, especially as a friend on the outside of watching somebody who could be in a really bad relationship. But Julia showed up looking like a hot yellow Skittle. What else happened? Lisa ass was late. Okay, and Stephanie, she had something to say about that. Oh, that's what happened. Stephanie had something to say about that at the dinner when they all went out or whatever, because they were like, oh, where's Lisa? And they were like, she late. And Stephanie was like, I'm gonna let y'all know right now, one thing I do not do is people being late. I am a stickler for time. I don't do it. So, and that's one of the things that Larsa kind of said about Stephanie, and some of the other ladies like, yeah, she's cool, but she's definitely a stickler. Like, she gonna speak her mind, and that's good because we need somebody who speaks her mind on a show like this that ain't scared to whip these bitches into shape. So everybody shows up or whatever, and Julia called Adriana to sit there and say, hey, can you sit Stephanie next to me? So who really is the cloud chaser, Julia? Who really is the cloud chaser then? Because you said Guerdy was over there just for herself to cloud chase, but it's looking like you. So Adriana goes up there and does a speech, and Alexia, with her old always gotta have attention ass, gets up there and starts lying through her teeth. Oh, me and Julia, you know, started our friendship 3 years ago. Bitch, no. Y'all just got cool last season. For those who've been watching, know, y'all did not like each other. Julia was on the other side with Guerdy, which is why this shit's making no sense. And now all of a sudden, oh, like, you love her and you're just so here for her. Adriana was like, right. And so Alexia is talking, trying to give up this speech. And Adriana is looking like, why are you talking as if you threw this party? Bitch, it was me that threw this party. And Alexia's like, yeah, Julia, you know, you're such a great person. What you're doing for these boys is so awesome. You know, I really just want to thank everybody else for coming. Everybody's looking at Alexia like, if you don't sit your ass down somewhere, girl.
How long you gonna be doing this?
And so they started doing this little diaper game, which I've actually played myself at a baby shower. Basically, you could do it in different ways, but how I played it was there was different like chocolate candy bars, obviously because it looks like poop. And so there would be like Snickers, Reese's, Three Musketeers, and like, so you have to look at it and guess what candy it is. So they're playing that game, and what's the first conversation that came up? Was it Lisa? Or Julia brought it up? Was it Lisa or Julia that brought it up? Because Lisa finally came in. She got tipsy real, but Lisa literally is the weight of a paper clip. So it only take but 3 drinks to get her blasted. Lisa with her drunk ass was like, oh my God, Stephanie, I need a friend like you. I need friends with yachts and jets and yachts and jets. And you could tell everybody was kind of like, Stephanie was like, cool. So you only want to be friends with me because I'm rich. Right. Okay. We even find out that Stephanie, you know, she from the trenches just a little bit. She's like, I grew up literally going to Colombia 3 months out the year, so hell, I'm stuck my finger up chicken's booty. You know, just because I got this money now don't mean I, you know, don't have no type of, you know, common, you know, childhood, you know. But yeah, at the party, they start getting into the stuff, and Adriana was like, do we have to get into this now? Clearly it was like, can we just have one event where you bitches don't get up, you know? So they started talking about why Larsa, you know, was talking about Lisa, and like, who told you? She's like, who told you or whatever. She's like, I'm not saying, because it doesn't matter. Like, it don't really matter. Do it. Like, you were talking about me point blank, period. And then Julie's like, does anybody want to admit, you know, that what they said? And Kiki looked at her like, bitch, this your party, you try to F it up? Oh, speaking of Kiki, her good for nothing sorry ass daddy who threw her out, she's now trying to forge a relationship with because of her kids, you know, for them to have a grandfather in her life. But y'all, tell me why he told Kiki, oh, by the way, you got this, you know, you got the little brother. And she's like, a little brother? And he's like, yeah, you know, he 3 years old. The tree, all 3 years old. Okay, because he was some new bitch, and like now she's like, how many kids is that? He's like 7. She was like, golly, like, I got a 3-year-old brother, and now my daughter got a 3-year-old uncle. Man, daddy. And she's like, hey, you can't even call your grandson back. Like, you don't even know what grade he's in, what he looked like. And that's why I'm about to tell you, Kiki, you're gonna have to limit your expectations with your daddy, because if he was willing to kick you out on the streets and you his daughter, it ain't nothing for him to not give a damn about your son. Okay? So yeah, back to the party or whatever. Finally, it was told that Guerdy, you know, Lisa finally told that it was Guerdy that told her or whatever. And Larsa's now getting mad, and she's looking at Alexia like, do you think it's right that Guerdy said? And Alexia's like, no. And it's like, bitch, that's somebody that she talks to. Like, so what if she told? Like, if she's telling her information that's true, then stand on business. That's really all it is, because is what she told her a lie? No. So you worry about the wrong thing. So Lisa just starts crying. Oh my God, this is not the time. This is not the time to be doing this. Like, my dad just died. Like, she's using them words incessantly. My dad died. My dad just died. Like, she's wanting to put emphasis on that. And so she clearly drunk. She even had to ask it, am I drunk? And Kiki's like, yeah, girl, let's give it a little tipsy boots. And so she gets up, walks away. I don't want to make this about me. I'm sorry. I don't want to make this about me. Bitch, that's what you doing, all right. So she gets up, walks away, is just like crying. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, not right here, not right now. And Adriana's looking at the girls like, bitch, y'all couldn't wait one day. Y'all couldn't do it not one day. Like, really? Come on now. And so they played also like a truth or dare game or whatever. Larsa, she loved, make my eyes roll with Larsa, because she's like, one of the questions that she pulled out was, oh, what's one trait that you wish you didn't have, or something like that. Or she was like, loyalty, because, you know, I can be loyal to a fault. I can be loyal to people and they just do me so wrong, and, you know, they take advantage of that. And I'm just like, girl, bye. You ain't loyal to nan bitch, okay? Nobody, all right? Larsa, you can't be trusted, girl. You about as trustworthy as Jordan Sparks. I mean, Jordan that was fucking around with Tristan, literally in the Kardashian household. So, like, no, you can't be trusted worth a damn. But yeah, that really was it in the episode. If I miss anything, I apologize. I'm just trying to catch up. Yeah, if I miss anything, like I said, drop down in the comments. Tell me how you feel about Alexia and Todd, you guys. Do you feel like Alexia is digmatized? What is it that's got Alexia still staying with Todd and dealing with that bullshit? Okay, do you guys feel like Julia actually is genuinely sorry for what she did to Guerdy, or just apologizing because she realized like she effed up, like in a sense of like, oh, I might have went too far in being the bad girl or whatever, or because of the backlash that she got? And Larsa and with being upset that Guerdy told Lisa, like, was Guerdy in the wrong for telling Lisa what Larsa and the ladies were talking about? Yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning in. If I miss Girl on Twitter, I'll catch your host later. Deuces.